but it's like only for 10 minutes. It's like a spiritual, like a chant for the week, and they teach a chant. If you're interested, let me know.
No, I used a Hawaiian song to scold a bunch of local teenagers once. Sonny, my cousin, Sonny Chillingworth, one of his favorite songs was Kaula Ili.
Uh-huh.
And I'll keep this short because we want to get started, but I was at a Hilo High School class reunion about 20 years ago. And I went outside, I left the dinner, went outside to the car I had rented, and I saw two local guys peeing on the car. And they saw me coming, and they said they thought I was a tourist. And they said, "Oh, sir, please don't get mad. This is the Hawaiian tradition. We're really blessing your car."
Oh my goodness.
And I decided I stole the words from my cousin, Chillingworth, Kaula Ili. You know that song?
Which one? Sing it for us.
Kaula Ili, iluna okapu uka nakaleonui. Anyway, I looked at them and I said, oh, never mind. And they said, "Oh, bro, we're sorry. We never knew you were Stockholm."
The jealousy of Leontes is not a detailed, a dramatic study, as Iago might be in Othello. It is a gross madness which mounts to the brain. This is a little note about it. And it turns Leontes' whole nature into unreasoning passion. Then the character of the noble sufferer Hermione is that when the dramatist is above all concerned, this first and secondly, the grace, beauty, and girlish happiness of Perdita. So it's those two different characters, whereas Hermione is very queen-like and very regal, and Perdita is childlike. So have fun between the two. While all the subordinate persons of the drama, Shakespeare delights chiefly in his own creation. Autolycus is a brand new character from the story that he had taken from the older story. This is the most charming of the rogues and the rovers. So think about that. Hermione may be placed side by side with Queen Catherine of Henry VIII. That's interesting. Which play belongs to this period. And both are noble sufferers who, by the dignity and purity of their natures, transcend all feeling of vulgar resentment. Deep and even quick feeling never renders Hermione incapable of an admirable justice. Now we have a picture there. All right, let's get started because it's 2 after, and Ruby it doesn't come in till Act 2, I think. And that's it. Okay?
Okay.
At the beginning of the production, Act 1, Scene 1, 2 gentlemen are discussing the wonders of Polixenes, the king of Bohemia, and how nice that they get along together with Leontes because they've been friends since boyhood. And that's all we need to know. But they want you to take up 2 pages of your script. So, we're going to have some nice background music, I guess, with Scene 2, in which Polixenes and Leontes and Hermione have a little get-together before Polixenes leaves. That was fast.
Wait a minute. My character isn't part of the first scene, right?
Oh, we're in scene 2.
Oh, scene 2.
We skipped scene 1.
I completely apologize. Okay. Okay. 9 changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne, and without a burthen. Long time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should with perpetuity go hence in debt. And therefore, like a cipher yet standing in his place, I multiply with one, we thank you, many thousands more that go before it.
Pay your thanks a while and pay them when you part.
That's tomorrow. I'm questioned by my heart of what may chance or breed upon our absence, that may blow no sleeping winds at home, to make us say, this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty.
We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
No longer stay.
1 7 night longer.
Very sooth, tomorrow.
We'll part the time between us then, and in that I'll no gainsaying.
Well, press me not, I beseech you. So there is no tongue, no that moves, none of the world, so soon as yours could win me. So it should now, were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful, I denied it. My affairs even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me, my stay, to you a charge and trouble. To say both farewell, our brother.
Tongue-tied, our queen? Speak you.
I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia's well. This satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. Say this to him, he's beat from his best ward.
Well said, Hermione.
To tell he longs to see his son. We're strong, but let him say to so then, and let him go, but let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We will thwart him hence with distaffs. Well, since I'll adventure of the borrow of a week, when at Bohemia you take my lord, I'll give you my commission, to let him there a month behind the jest, prefixed for his parting. Yet good deed done, Leontes, I love thee not a jar or the clock behind. What lady she her lord? You'll stay?
No, madam.
Nay, but you will.
I may not, verily.
Verily. You put me off with limber vows, but I, though you would seek and spear the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner. Yet not a guest, so you shall pay your fees when you depart and save your thanks. How say you? My prisoner or my guest? By your dread verily, one of them you shall be.
Your guest then, madam. To be your prisoner should impart offending, which is, for me, less easy to commit than you to punish.
Not your jailer then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then.
We were, fair queen, 2 lads that thought there was no more behind, but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal.
Was not my lord the verier wag of the two?
We were as twin labs that did frisk in the sun and bleat at one another, one at the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits ne'er had been higher reared, with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven. Boldly, not guilty, the impression cleared, hereditary ours.
By this we gather you have a tripped since.
Oh, my most sacred lady, temptations have since been there born to it. For in those unfledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed in the eyes of the young playfellow.
Grace to boot, of this makes no conclusion, lest you say, your queen and I are devils. Yet go on, the offences we have made you do will answer. If you first sinned with us, then that with us you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any but with us.
Is he won yet?
He'll stay, my lord.
At my request he would not, Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never?
Never but one.
What? Have I twice said well? When was it before? I prithee tell me, crammed with praise and mixed as fat as tame things, one good deed dying tongueless, slaughters 1,000 waiting upon that. Our praises are our wages. You may rise with one soft kiss 1,000 furlongs, ere with spur we heat an acre, but to the goal. My last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was my first? It has an elder sister, or I mistake you. Oh, would her name were Grace! But once before I spoke to the purpose. When? Nay, let me have it. I long.
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soughed themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand, and clap thyself my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever.
'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. The one for ever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend.
Hot, too hot to mingle friendship far as mingling blood. I have tremor cordis on me, my heart dances, but not for joy, not joy. This entertainment may a free faith put on, derive a liberty from heartiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. May I grant but to be clad in palm, pinching fingers as now they are, and making practice smiles as in a looking-glass, and then to sigh as 'twere, the more to the dear. That is entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Mamilius, art thou my boy?
Aye, my good lord.
Effects? Why, that's my barcock, what? It's much thy nose. They say it's a copy out of mine. Come, captain, we must be neat, not neat, but cleanly, captain. And yet the steer, the heifer, and calf are all called neat, still virginaling upon his palm. Now you wanton calves, art thou my calf?
Yes, if you will, my lord.
Thou wants the rough pash and the shoot that I have, to be full like me, yet they say we are almost as like as eggs. Women say so, they will say anything, but were they false as ore dyed black, as wind, as waters, false as dice are to be wished by one that fixes, though born twixt his and mine, yet true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye, sweet villain, most dearest my collop, can thy dam, may it be? Affection, thy intention stabs the centre. Thou dost make possible things not so held, communicatest with dreams. How can this be? With what unreal thou coactive art, and bellowst nothing? Then 'tis very credent thou mayest co-join with something, and thou dost, and that beyond commission, and I find it, and that to the infection of my brains, and hardening of my brow.
What means Cecilia?
Something seems unsettled.
How, my lord?
What cheer, how is it with you, best brother?
You look
Yeah.
as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord?
No, in good earnest. How sometimes nature will betray its folly, tenderness, and make itself a pastime to harder bosoms. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, I thought I did recoil 23 years and saw myself unbreeched, in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. I like methought I then was to this colonel, this wash, this gentleman, mine honest friend. Will you take eggs for money?
No, my lord, I'll fight.
You will? Why, happy man be as though, my brother. Are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours?
If at home, sir, he's all exercise, my mirth, my matter. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy, my parasites, my soldier, statesman all, he make a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood.
So stands this squire office with me. We too will walk, my lord, and leave you to your bravest steps. Hermione, how thou lovest us, show in your brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart.
If you would seek us, we are yours in the garden. Shall attend you there?
To your own bench dispose you, you'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I'm angling now, though you perceive me not how I give mine. Go to, as he holds up the neb of dew to him, and arms her with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Gone already, inch thick, feet deep o'erhead, and ears a fourth one. Go play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too. But so disgraced a part, whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamor will be my knell. Go play, boy, play. There have been, for I am much deceived, couples there now. And many a man there is, even at this present now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor. By Sir Smile, his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in it. Whiles other men have gates, and those gates opened, as mine, against their will, should all despair that have revolted wives, the tenth of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there's none. The body planet that will strike where it's predominant, and 'tis the powerful think it from east, west, north, and south. Be it concluded, no barricado for a belly, know it. I will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage, many 1,000 on, have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy?
I'm like you, they say.
Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo there?
My good my lord.
Go play, Mamilius, thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir will yet stay longer.
You had much ado to make him anchor yet hold. When you cast out, it still came home.
Didst thou?
He did not stay in your petitions and make his presence more material.
Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding. Cecilia's so full of 'tis far gone. When I shall gust it last. How came Camillo when he did stay?
Ah, at the good queen's entreaty.
That the queen's be it, would should be pertinent, but so 'tis, it is not. Was this taken by any understanding tape of thine? For thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks. Not noted is it, but of the finer nature, by some severals of headpiece extraordinary, though a mess. perchance, are to this business purblind. Say,
A business, my lord. I think most understand Bohemia stays here longer.
aye, but why?
To satisfy your highness and the entreaty to our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy the entreaties of your mistress? Satisfy? Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well my chamber councils, wherein priest-like thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed thy penitent reform, but we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so.
Be it forbid, my lord.
To bide upon it. Thou art not honest, or if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hucks his honesty behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent, or else a fool, that seest the game played home, the rich stake drawn, and takest it for the jest.
My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful, but his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world, sometime put forth. In your affairs, my lord, if ever I were wilful negligent, it was my folly, and if industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence, not weighing well the end, if ever fearful to do a thing, where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out against the non-performance, and 'twas a fear which oft infects the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But beseech your grace, be plainer with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine.
You're not seen, Camillo, but that past doubt you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or heard, or to a vision, though apparent, humor cannot. A thought, or cognition, resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is with me. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative, to have nor eyes nor thought, then say my wife, the hobbyhorse, deserves a name as rank as any black wench that puts to both, that put to before her chalk flight. Say it and justify it.
Well, I would not be a slander by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so, without my present vengeance taken. Shrew my heart, you never speak as when I am become you less than this, which is to reiterate, were sin as deep as that, though true.
Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek? Is meeting noses? Kissing with the inside lip? Stopping the career of laughter with a sigh? A note infallible of breaking honesty? Horsing foot on foot? Skulking in corners? Wishing clocks more swift? Hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only that would unseen be wicked? Is this nothing? Why, then the world and all that in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing, Bohemia nothing, my wife is nothing, nor nothing have these nothings, if this be nothing.
Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it be, 'tis true.
No, no, my lord.
It is, you lie. I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate
No.
pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, he that wears her like her medal hanging about his neck. Bohemia, who, if I had servants true about me, that bare eyes to see alike mine honor as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they would do that which should undo more doing. I, and thou his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who mayest see plainly as heaven sees earth, and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, mightest bespice a cup, to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial.
Oh, sir, my lord, I could do this, and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram, which would not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress. So sovereignly being honorable, I have loved thee.
Make that thy question and go rot. Dost think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation? Sully the purity and whiteness of my sheet, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps. Give scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I do think is mine, and love as mine, without right moving to it. Would I do this? Would man so blench?
I must believe you, sir. I do. I will fetch off Bohemia fort, and provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first. And even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues in courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Thou dost advise me, even so as I mine own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honor, none.
My lord, go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feasts, keep with Bohemia and with your queen. I am your cup-bearer. If from me he have wholesome beverage, account to me not your servant.
This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. If not, thou splittest thine own.
I'll do it, my lord.
I will soon friend thee. Thou hast advised me.
Oh, miserable lady! But for me, what case stand I for it? Oh, I must be the prisoner of good Polixenes, and my ground to do it. Is the obedience to a master, one who in rebellion with himself will have all that he is so too? Oh, to do this deed, promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that struck anointed kings and flourished hereafter, I'd not do it. But since nor brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court. To do it, oh no, is certain to bring me breakneck. Happy star, reign now. Here comes Bohemia.
Oh, this is strange. Methinks my favor here begins to warp. Not speak. Good day, Camillo.
Hail, most royal sir.
Well, what is the news of the court?
None rare, my lord.
Well, the king hath on him such a countenance, as he had lost some provinces and a region, lost as he loves himself. Even now, I met him with customary compliment, when he, waving his eyes to the contrary, and falling the lip of a of contempt speeds from me, and so here's me to consider what is breeding that changes thus his manners.
I dare not know, my lord.
How dare not? Do not? Do you know and dare not? Now be intelligent to me. 'Tis thereabouts. For to yourself what you do know you must, and cannot say you dare not. Good Camillo, your changed complexion are to me a mirror, which shows me changed too, but I must be a party to this alteration, finding myself thus altered with it.
There is a sickness that puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease. It is caught of you that yet are well.
How caught of me? Make me not sighted like the basilisk. I have looked on thousands who have sped the better by my regard, but killed none so. Camillo, as you are certainly a gentleman, there to clock like experienced, which no less adorns our gentry than our parents' noble names, in whose success we are gentle. I beseech you, if you know aught which does not behave my knowledge thereof to be informed, imprisoned not an ignorant concealment.
I may not answer.
Ah, a sickness caught of me, and yet I will. I must be answered. I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo? I conjure thee, by all parts of man who honor the knowledge, acknowledge, whereof the least is not the suit of mine, that thou declare what incidency dost thou guess of harm in creeping toward me, and how far off, how near, which way to be prevented, if to be, if not, how best to bear it.
Sir, I will tell you, since I am charged to honor, and by him that I think honorable, therefore mark my counsel, which must be even as swiftly followed as I mean to utter it, or both yourself and the cry lost. And so, good night.
Oh, good Camillo.
I am appointed by him to murder you.
By whom, Camillo?
By the king.
Well, for what?
He thinks, nay, with all confidence, he swears that he has seen it and been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly.
Oh, then my best blood burns to an infected jelly, and my name is yoked with his that did betray the best. Turn then my freshest reputation to a saber that may strike the dullest nostril where I arrive, and my approach be shunned. Nay, hated too, for worse than the greatest infection that e'er was heard or read.
Swear his thoughts over by each particular star in heaven, and by all their influences, you may as well forbid the sea for to obey the moon, or by oath remove or counsels shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundations is piled upon his faith, and will continue the standing of his body.
How should this grow?
I know not, but I am sure that safer to avoid what's grown than question how 'tis born. Therefore you dare trust my honesty that lies enclosed in this trunk, which you shall bear along on away tonight. Your followers and I will whisper to the business, and will by twos or threes at several posterns clear them of the city. For myself, I'll put my fortunes in your service, which are here by this discovery lost. Be not uncertain, For by the honor of my parents, I have uttered truth. If you seek to prove, I dare not stand by, nor shall you be safer than one condemned by the king's own mouth, thereon his execution sworn.
I do believe thee. I saw his heart and his face. Give me thy hand.
Ah,
Be pilot to me, and thy places shall still neighbor mine. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure. 2 days ago, this jealousy is for a precious creature. As she's rare, must it be great? As person's mighty, must it be violent? As he does conceive, he is dishonored by a man which ever professed to him. Why, his revenges must, in that he made more bitter. Fear o'ershades me. Good expedition to my friend, and comfort. The gracious queen, part of this theme, but nothing of his ill-taken suspicion. Come, Camillo, I will respect thee as a father, if thou beatest my life off. Hence, let us avoid.
it is mine authority to command the keys of all the posterns. Please your highness to take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away.
Excellent.
Excellent. Act
Da,
two.
da, 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 da. Okay.
All right, we get to the story of the Winter's Tale.
Take the boy to you, he so troubles me, 'tis past enduring.
Come, my gracious lord, shall I be your playfellow?
No, I will have none of you.
Why, my sweet lord?
You will kiss me hard and speak to me as if I were a baby still. I love you better.
And why so, my lord?
Not for because your brows are blacker, yet black brows, they say, become some women best, so that there be not too much hair there, but in a semicircle or a half moon made with a pen.
Who taught you this?
I learned it out of women's faces. Pray now, what color are your eyebrows?
Blue, my lord.
Nay, that's a mock. I have seen a lady's nose that have been blue, but not her eyebrows.
Hardy. Then, queen, your mother rounds apace. We shall present our services to fine new prince one of these days, and then you'd wanton with us if we would have you. She is spread of late into a goodly bulk. Good time, encounter her.
What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir, now, I am for you again. Pray you, sit by us and tells a tale.
Merry or sad shall be?
As merry as you will.
A sad tale's best for winter. I have one of spirit and goblins.
Let's have that, good sir. Come on, sit down. Come on and do your best to fright me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
There was a man,
Nay, come, sit down, then on.
dwelt by a churchyard. I will tell it softly. Yon crickets shall not hear it.
Come on then, and give it me in mine ear.
Was he met there? His train? Camillo with him?
Behind a tuft of pines, I met them. Never saw I men scour on their way. I eyed them even to their ships.
Blessed am I in my just venture, in my true opinion. Lack for lesser knowledge, how accursed in being so blessed. There may be in the cup a spider steeped, and one may drink, but, and yet partake no venom. For his knowledge is not infected. But if one present the abhorred ingredient to his eye, make known how he hath drunk, he cracks his gorge, his sides with violet heft. I have drunk and seen the spider. Camillo was his helpant, this pander. There is a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That villain whom I employed was pre-employed by him. He has discovered my design, and I remain a pinched thing. Yeah, a very trick for them to play at will. How came the postern so easily open?
By his great authority, which often hath no less prevailed than so on your command.
I know it too well. Give me the boy. I'm glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him.
What is this, sport?
Bear the boy hence. He shall not come about her. Away with him, and let her sport herself with that she's big with. For it is Polixenes has made us dwell thus.
But I'd say he had not, and I'll be sworn you would believe my saying, however you lean to the nayward.
You, my lord, look on her. Mark her well. Be but about to say, she's a goodly lady, and the justice of your hearth will thereto add, 'tis a pity she's not honest, honourable. Praise her but for this, her without door form, which on my faith deserves high speech, and straight the shrug, the hum, the ha, these petty brands that calumny doth use. Oh, I'm out, that mercy does, for calumny will sear virtue itself. These shrug, ahs, when you have said, she's goodly, come between, ere you can say she's honest. But, you know, from him that has most cause to grieve it should be, she's an adulteress.
Should a villain say so, the most replenished villain in the world, he were as much more villain. You, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook, my lady, Polixenes for Leontes. Oh, thou thing which I'll not call a creature of thy place, lest barbarism making me the precedent should a like language used to all degrees, and mannerly distinguishment leave out betwixt the prince and beggar. I have said she's an adulteress. I have said with whom. More, she's a traitor, and Camillo is a federary with her, and one that knows what she should shame to know herself. But with her most vile principle, that she's a bed swerver, even as bad as those that vulgars give boldest titles. I am privy to this their late escape.
No, by my life, privy to none of this. How will this grieve you when you shall come to clearer knowledge that you thus have published me? Gentle my lord, you scarce can write me thoroughly then to say you did mistake.
No, if I mistake in those foundations which I build upon, the centre is not big enough to bear a schoolboy's thought. Away with her to prison. He who shall speak for her is afar off guilty, but that he speaks.
There's some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the heavens look with an aspect more favourable. Good my lords, I am not prone to weeping, as our sex commonly are, the want of which vain dew perchance shall dry your pities. But I have that honourable grief lodged here which burns, worse than tears drown. Beseech you all, my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charities shall best instruct you, measure me, and so the king will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is it that goes with me? Beseech your highness, my women may be with me, for you see my plight requites it. Do not weep, good fools, there is no cause, when you shall know your mistress has deserved prison. Then abound in tears as I come out. This action I go now is for my better grace. Adieu, my lord. I never wished to see you sorry. Now I trust I shall. My women, come. You have leave.
Go, you are bidding. Hence.
Beseech your highness, call the queen again.
Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violence, and which you have three great ones suffer, yourself, your queen, your son.
For her, my lord, I dare my life lay down, and will do it, sir. Please you, to accept it that the queen is spotless. Aye, the eyes of heaven unto you. I mean, in this which you accuse her.
If it proves she's otherwise, I'll keep my stables where I lodge my wife. I'll go in couples with her, then when I feel and see her so farther, trust her. For every inch of woman in the world, aye, every dram of a woman's flesh is false, if she be.
Hold your pieces.
Good, my lord.
No, it is for you we speak, not for ourselves. You are abused, and by some perter on you, there would be damned for it. Would I knew the villain, I would land damn him. Be she honor flawed, I have 3 daughters. The eldest is 11, the second and the third are 9, and some 5. If thou prove true, they'll pay for it. By 9 honor, I'll geld them all. 14 they shall not see to bring false generations. They are co-heirs, and I had rather glib myself than they should not produce the fair issue.
Peace, no more. You smell this business with a sense as cold as a dead man's nose. But I do see it and feel it as you feel doing this. See with all the instruments that feel.
Well, if it be so, we need no graver to bury honesty. There's not a grain of it in the face of for sweeten the whole dungy earth.
What? Black eye? Get it?
I had rather you did lack than I, my lord, upon this ground, and more it would content me to have her honor true than your suspicion. Be blamed for it how you might.
Why, what need we commune with you of this, but rather follow our forcible instigation? Our prerogative calls not your counsels, but our natural goodness imparts this, which if you, or stupefied, or seeming so in skill, cannot, or will not, relish a truth like us, inform yourselves. We need no more of your advice. The matter, the loss, the gain, the ordering on it is all properly ours.
And I wish, my liege, you had only in your silent judgment tried it, without more overture.
How could that be? Either thou art most ignorant by age, or thou wert born a fool. Camilo's flight added to their familiarity, which was as gross as ever touched conjecture. They lacked sight only, not for approbation, but only seeing. All other circumstances made up for the deed. Shall push on this proceeding, yet for a greater confirmation. For in an act of this importance, 'twere most piteous to be wild. I have dispatched in post to sacred Delphos, to Apollo's temple, Cleomenes and Dion, whom you know of stuff sufficiency. Now, from the oracle they will bring all, whose spiritual counsel shall stop or spur me. Have I done well?
Well done, my lord.
Though I am satisfied and need no more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others, such as he, whose ignorant credulity will not come up to the truth. So have we thought it good, from our free person she should be confined, lest that the treachery of the 2 fled hence left her to perform. Come, follow us, we are to speak in public, for this business will raise us all.
To laughter, as I take it, if the good truth were known.
And then scene 2, act 2, in a prison beneath the castle. Paulina and attendants.
The keeper of the prison, call to him. Let him have knowledge who I am. Good lady, no court in Europe is too good for thee. What doubt'st thou then in prison? Now, good sir, you know me, do you not?
For a worthy lady, and one who much I honor.
Pray you then, conduct me to the queen.
I may not, madam, for the contrary hath been express commandment.
Here's a due to lock up honesty and honor from the access of gentle visitors. It's lawful, pray you, to see her, women, any of them, Amelia.
So please you, madam, to put apart these your attendants, I shall bring Amelia forth.
I pray now call her. Withdraw yourselves.
And madam, I must be present at your conference.
Well, be so pretty. You're such a dew to make no stain. The stain is past its coloring. Dear gentlewoman, how fares your gracious lady?
As well as one so great and so forlorn may hold together on her fights and griefs, which never tender lady hath borne greater. She is something before her time delivered.
A boy?
A daughter, and a goodly babe, lustry, and like to live. The queen receives much comfort, it says. My poor prisoner, I am as innocent as you.
I dare be sworn. These dangerous, unsafe lunacy. The king, beshrew them. He must be told on it. He shall the office become a woman best. I'll take upon me. If I prove honey mouth, let my tongue blister, and never to my red look anger be the trumpet any more. Pray you, Amelia, commend my best obedience to the queen. If she dares trust me with her little babe, I'll show the king and undertake to be her advocate to the louse. We do not know how he may soften at the sight of the child. The silence often of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails.
Most worthy madam, your honor and your goodness is so evident that your free undertaking cannot miss a thriving issue. There is no lady living so meet for this great errand. Please your ladyship to visit the next room. I will presently acquaint the queen of your most noble offer, who but today hammered of this design, but durst not tempt a minister of honor, lest she be denied.
Tell her, Amelia, I'll use that tongue if I have. I have, if wit flow from it, as boldness from my bosom. Let not be doubted. I shall do good.
Now be you blessed for it. I will to the queen. Please you come something nearer.
Madam, if it please the queen to send the babe, I know not what I shall incur to pass it, having no warrant.
You need not fear it, sir. This child was a prisoner to the womb. It is by law and process of great nature thence, freed and enfranchised, not a party to the anger of the king, nor guilty, if any be, the trespass of the queen.
I do believe it.
Do not fear. Upon mine honor, I will stand betwixt you and danger.
And we're back upstairs in the Leontes palace.